Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Well, recently I've been kind of getting into a Johnny Cash kick. I've been kind of getting more into his later albums at this point. If anybody's watched my channel for any length of time, you'll remember maybe a year or two ago I did a video, and I'll put a link up here to show the complete Columbia albums box set that I picked up. This is 63 CDs with all of his Columbia albums on it. And then in my previous video that I just made, I showed off the newly released Johnny Cash, the complete Mercury albums, 1986 to 1991. So if you haven't seen that, be sure and go back and check that out. So moving along down into his more recent catalog, I decided to pick this up. This is a massive box set here. This is Johnny Cash Unearthed. Now this was originally released on CD in 2003, just a couple months after Johnny's passing. You can see all the contents there on the hype sticker. But in 2017 this was reissued on vinyl, and that's the edition I got here. So we'll take the shrink wrap off of this and get a little bit closer look and see what is all included in this amazing box set. All right, and I'm back. Now, just for a size comparison, I've placed the new complete Mercury albums box set on top of here, and you can see just how much bigger this Unearthed box set is compared to this one. So it's a really large set in comparison. So here's the front of the box set. It's kind of got like a cloth material covering the box itself, and then it's got this nice inlaid photo strip here and kind of a silk screened Cash Unearthed titling there. So we'll just get a little bit closer look at these pictures. Then as you can see here, we got the albums are contained in this section, and then there's also a cloth-bound book here. And then on the back there's just the American Recordings logo. And here we have, kind of faintly you can see Cash on there, and then Cash Unearthed. So we'll take out the contents here. We'll start with the albums and then we'll go into the book after that. So now the albums themselves are, you know, kind of the old school style. It's actually in an album itself. So here we have the Cash kind of embossed on there, and again with the American logo on the back. And these are 9 LPs, all contained in their own separate sleeve. But before we get into showing the albums themselves, there's a little bit of literature in the front of the book as well. So there we have the title, Cash Unearthed. So we're kind of going album by album here, or kind of section by section I should say, because there's like this first section is 2 LPs, and you can kind of see the track listing there. And here we have Volume 2, Trouble in Mind. And Volume 3 is Redemption Songs. And then here we have an album. It is Volume 4. It's My Mother's Hymn Book. This is a lot of gospel songs that Johnny Cash learned growing up from his mother's hymn book, which we can see there. And here on Volume 5, this is kind of just a collection of the best songs from the American Recordings, the albums that he produced from 1993, I believe, until his passing in 2003. No, I don't think I mentioned earlier in the video, but the The contents of these albums are mostly outtakes and things that weren't released on his original American Recordings albums, aside from the best of, which were kind of the best tracks from those albums. And here we have some credits. All right, and that gets us into the music. So I'll try and do this the best I can on camera here. It's a little bit tricky, but like we mentioned earlier, each LP is housed in its own sleeve, which is a really heavy-duty cardstock, and it's got this nice stiffener glued in here so we're not splitting the seams out. And they have their own paper sleeve inside. Each album is pressed on 180 gram vinyl, and all the album labels are the same, so we'll just kind of take a look at one here. Your standard American Recordings label. And then we just slip that back in there. And this heavy-duty glued binding strip here is the same on this side, so we're not splitting out all over when we're pulling these in and out of the sleeves. So just a very well done box set, really good quality. And that's it there. So now we'll take a look at the book that's included as well. Alright, so now let's take a look at the book that's included here. This is also a cloth-bound book here. It's got a nice texture to it. I think it's about 50 pages. So now this first section here, and then most of the first half of the book is written by Sylvie Simmons. I'm not exactly sure who that is. If somebody knows who that is, they can let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is just a writing by her with some quotes from Johnny. There's a lot of great pictures in here too. So there's the end of that kind of essay from September of 2003. And now when we get into this section of the book, this is going to be really interesting to read as I listen to these albums. This is Unearthed song by song. So here we go into each individual song on the entire set. We have kind of some interviews here with both Johnny Cash and producer Rick Rubin. So it's kind of going to be interesting to read their thoughts on each song that's been presented here. From what I understand, this whole collection was compiled and was going to be sent to Johnny Cash to have him authorize it, or kind of listen to it and give his thoughts on it. But unfortunately, he passed away before that was able to happen. Before he was able to hear all these mixes and things. But just 2 or 3 months after he did pass away, this was released on CD. So And that wraps up the book. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking through that box set with me. I'm definitely going to look forward to listening to these albums. I never did get the vinyl collection of his actual American albums, but I believe that's I think it's being repressed right now, so I'm kind of looking forward to picking that up at some point in the near future. And, you know, of course, when I do pick that up, I'll definitely show it here on my channel, so stay tuned for that. Take care.